Hi everybody, and welcome back to Celebrity with me. So I'm Nene, and today I have Reese, Johnny, and Sean with me. Okay, and so today we will be reviewing or doing a recap of Love After Lockup. Right. So this episode was titled "What's Love Got to Do with It?" I struggle with these titles because I really feel like it should be like toxic relationship, how to fight with your significant other. I guess. Um, But yeah, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get started and jump right in on the episode. Alrighty, so the first couple that we saw was Bronwyn and Chad. I'm gonna call him Chaz in this episode. I feel like he behaved like a Chad. Alrighty, or Chad. Some people, they say Pookie and Chad or whatever. Okay, so we see that Chaz and Bronwyn, they're in the car and they're headed to go meet up with her daughter. Which, okay, how many times are y'all gonna surprise us and spring children on us that we had no clue? I mean, we've been watching y'all for how many weeks now? We're just now finding out Bronwyn has a child. Alrighty. And so, um, once we see her, her daughter is kind of scantily dressed. And we see Bronwyn, she's like pulling at the girl's jacket, trying to cover up the jacket. We find out she's like 19 years old and she's a stripper. As she announces, she just got off of work. So I guess that's her outfit. But it seems like it's cold wherever they are. And But I guess if she just got off work, maybe that would be what she'd be wearing. All right. And so, her daughter finally gets the chance to meet Chaz. And then they kind of walk away from him. No, he went to go get the car or something to that effect. And she asked her daughter, what does she think of him? And her daughter's like, well, he's not her normal type and he's older. And so, those were just some of the thoughts that she gave. And so Brandon asked her if she's going to come and visit her in Kentucky. It really seems like Bronwyn is trying to get her daughter to move to Kentucky, which, I get if she hasn't spent a lot of time with her daughter because she's been in and out of prison. Her daughter says she'll come and visit her, but she is not going to live there and like live with Chaz. Right? Okay, and so we see that she ends up having like a moment of guilt about her absence from her daughter's life, and so Bronwyn starts crying. Her daughter comforts her. You know, Bronwyn is crying, saying she feels like a loser and things like that. Her daughter's, trying to reassure her, no, you're not a loser. And so she tells us about her baby daddy. And so they show us a picture of her baby daddy, but they block out his face, but they show us his chiseled body, right? Okay. And so she says, Bronwyn tells us that her and her baby daddy have been in and out of prison or jail, whichever one they were in. But they've been in and out for like 11 years or something to that effect. I'm not for sure if that's combined or just over the last 11 years they've been locked up. Okay. And so Bronwyn's daughter, Bronwyn's daughter, says how she has lived with, different family members over the years because her mom wasn't around. And so she says that she may have lived with her mom for about 6 months of her life. And that's about it. Okay, so we see that they end up going out to eat dinner, right? And so Bronwyn gets a call, right? And so Chaz, he gets a little jealous of the call. It is a guy on the phone. Um, I think that Chaz needs to calm down with some of this jealousy that he has. But we see Chaz gets jealous, and then Bronwyn explains who the person who she was talking to, but then she lets him know that she doesn't really like it, and she says she doesn't harass him about like when he has shows. Did he leave with a girl or did he talk to a girl? She was like she doesn't treat him like that. So basically he needs to trust her. So then we see the waiter comes over to the table and he says that Chaz's card declined. And so Bronwyn's daughter, I'm going to say her name, Arian is like, I'll pay. I'll pay. I worked last night. I can pay. I can pay. So she puts out some cash and she pays for it. And then, like in her confessional, she does say, um, she is concerned that he's not going to be able to financially take care of her mom, right? And She basically said she didn't expect that she was going to have to pay for dinner. Alrighty, so I want to hear other thoughts about Chaz and Bronwyn this week. Anybody? Anybody want to talk about them?
Mhm. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I'll go ahead on. The him questioning her about who that is, I can get the little concern because you just got married, and when she had said what she was doing, all that she did, she didn't mention that she got married. He had to say it, and then that's when she finally said it. So the guy on the phone, when he made the comment, "Oh, so you're saying you're married? Type don't bother you anymore?" Type thing. She could have said, "Well, yeah," but then I think he was like, "Well, I don't care. I'm still." He continued on talking. So to me, that tells me that he really don't respect the woman's marriage. Well, yeah, but yeah, I can also see too where he do need to chill out and don't question everything because you know if she never showed you that she was that type of person, then hey, don't question it. But they should have a conversation. So if he feels uncomfortable with her having male friends and they're married now, then she needs to make sure that she can. But they need to talk about that and discuss that because anything can happen. You know, because
Yeah,
you have a conversation with your male friend, your best friend, and you're married. Something happened with you and your husband. You go run to your best friend instead of going to your husband and talking to that could lead to a problem. Not saying it will, but that could be a problem. Because she just talked about you have a whole lot of male friends. Now, so if he's uncomfortable with all those male friends, and then she probably need to let that stuff go. Or don't let the marriage go, one or the other. Now, and then also she was talking about she said she might have to choose between um, staying up there with her daughter or going to Kentucky with her husband. And she's like, she was thinking about it, but I didn't like the producer had asked the question. So which one you leaning towards? I was like, the woman just said she had to think about the thing, and now you trying to put her on the spot right then and there. She don't know, and I can feel where she's coming from because, like the daughter says, she only been in her mom's life for 6 months, and and the mom knows that, and the mom know that she was going from her daughter was going from place to place, and the mom did feel bad about doing that, and then I can see how she uh, like she wanted to. It felt like she wanted to be in her daughter's life, but she allowed people to influence her in saying that it's best that you stay out of her life because you're a bad influence on your daughter. So that kind of hurt her. So I can see why she would want to use that opportunity to spend more time with her daughter because she's out. And but you just got married. So now if she can convince a boy to come up there, then hey, might work out for her. Now the check, the card thing, you know, and her having her opinion about I can see he might be hiding some more stuff. I don't trust that he can take care of my mom and all that type of stuff. I think part of that is because she don't want her mom to leave either, so she want her mom to stay there. So she kind of already got to figure out a way to not like this guy because this guy's about to take her mom away from her. So she already said that he was a good guy when she was crying. But what got me was when she first met him, and she was saying that they was short. Said he was about 5'5", but she said he claimed to be 5'5", but the 5'4" thing would brought me to U3 from last week talking about the dude height
yeah.
and
But let
short
me ask
men.
you. Let me ask you a question,
Short
Sean.
men. Huh?
Let me ask you a question. So when
Yeah.
she was saying, yeah, he says he's 5'6", but I think he's more like 5'5".
Four.
It was 1 inch smaller than whatever he said. I thought she was about to say, I think he's more like 5'3" or 5'2". That's what I was
That
expecting,
too.
not 1 inch shorter.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But that
But
1 inch makes the difference.
yeah, it
One,
really does to you people.
1 inch,
To
Johnny,
you
really,
people.
1 inch.
Mhm.
You'd be
Yeah. Yeah.
surprised how short that extra inch is.
Mhm. That little bitty inch, just the end of the world.
It is.
Oh man.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, so you the playground, the not the playground, the roller coaster. You got to be this tall,
Exactly.
not an inch, not a quarter inch under. You have to be exact this tall or above.
Not anymore. I'm in my
Oh,
40s.
oh, so you just like her now. She's willing to settle.
No, I'm not willing to settle anymore. I'm willing. I If I have to be alone, if I'm gonna be with anybody, it's gonna be who I want to be with. I'm not settling anymore.
Oh, okay. All right then. So when she first met the man, they talked about his height, and then the daughter was saying that's not somebody I see you normally with because you go for the muscular people. And then they also was talking a little bit more, and she made the comment to her mom made the comment about I'm getting old, so she basically settling, and that the daughter was like. Well, I thought you would be with someone different, because you had the opportunity to be with other people. So I was like, well, you only met the man for a couple of seconds, so how you know he's not good enough for your mom? And then but then you fast forward to later on when they was crying, and she's like, well, you don't have to cry because you found yourself a good guy. And then I was like, okay, just later earlier you were saying that about him. And then when you get to the restaurant, now she don't trust the man because the card had bounced or was canceled or declined. But I went on and said, okay, he bought the wedding stuff, you know, he's still living in a hotel. He bought that $532 or $562 hairdo for both of them. So he put a lot of stuff on his cards. So if
Mhm.
the card
Yeah,
bounced, mean he don't have no money. Maybe he just probably need to budget wisely and say no instead of spending all that money on the stuff. But uh, but yeah,
right.
that's what you call it. So I was like, yeah, she's not giving him a fair chance, and that the daughter's not giving him a fair chance, and the mom needs to they need to sit down and have a conversation about the other men in her life. Yeah. So yep.
Yeah, his jealousy is that's gonna ruin their relationship, I think. Like the fact that she answered the phone on speaker because she saw who it was, she didn't have to answer. Um, he honestly really didn't give her enough time to say she was married because she had been telling everybody she was married. Um, he's got to chill. Like his insecurities, if you know you got a 20 when you deserve a 4, to keep that 20, you can't be insecure. It's just not going to work. So he's got to work on that. And then I guess my whole thing is when he let her pay for the dinner, I just was like, I thought maybe he would have gone and paid her back, or was it his credit card and he didn't bring his debit card? Like, I was totally confused about how uh, all that went down. I get, like you said, all the stuff that he's spent money on. Um, I just thought that was weird though, because he was like, I guess he wasn't okay with her paying, but it's not like he made the effort to say use this card or switch it out. He just let her pay. So I was just kind of like, I don't know that you should be letting her daughter pay for your food. Maybe pay for her food and her mom's food. He could have said, well, if you can just pay for your mom, I'll pay for myself. I mean,
Yeah,
I know things happen, but I just,
Well, hold on now. He just spent over $500 on that hairdo. So that food came out to be maybe $60.
she gave him a
So
hundred.
okay, wow. $100, $100. Well, you just said inches
but
matter.
I
So
mean that's the first.
$100 to $500. So come on now.
Well, I
No,
have to agree with Johnny on this one, and especially since that's the first time you're meeting the daughter. But
Mhm.
at the same token, it kind of looked like he was scared when he was like, "Oh, you want another card?" Did y'all catch that? His face.
Yeah, he seemed it was weird. So it and like you said, Sean, if he had just realized he overspent, okay. But the fact that he was I can't say he was okay, but I think the alternative would have been, look, if you can get your mom and yourself, that's fine. I'll pay for me. I don't like I just don't see. I think I'd be a little upset if my daughter had to pay for me and my date or me and my husband, and not realize why and where was her card? Because didn't he give her a card?
Yeah,
He did, but remember he said he had to put some money on her card.
he probably did. We
Said
don't
I
know.
think he put money on her card. He said he had to put more. So I was just that whole thing was just weird to me. Like, where the hell is all? I know how much he spent, but what happened to the money she had? It just was weird for them to be okay with her paying. That's all. I don't
Now,
I can't
also,
really verbalize why that felt weird, but that just didn't feel like the right thing.
because kind of the conversation he was having with the daughter, uh, to me, that kind of felt awkward to him. So he probably was just a little bit nervous, and he really didn't want to say anything
Yeah.
bad. So she wanted to pay. He probably didn't want to come off like he was attacking her because he was so apologetic for everything that he was doing. So
Yeah.
was kind of like, yeah, okay, well, all right, you do that, whatever. So he probably was, to his defense, that. But I can get what you're coming from. Yeah, he could have, at least said, I'll pay you back.
Yeah. I mean, how would you feel? Would you feel comfortable sitting there letting someone's daughter pay for your food
After
when
your
you just
card just
met
got
her?
declined. It's not like the daughter was like, "Oh, I'm treating you guys tonight."
Yeah, she
Her
didn't know
card
she
got
was going to have
declined.
to pay. How would you feel, Sean?
This is not about me, so don't make this about me. It's about them. We're
Yeah,
here
okay.
about them. Don't be talking about me. What's wrong
Got
with
it.
you? God,
Got it. Got it. My bad.
gosh,
But
man.
yeah, he really needs to get over his insecurities, and I don't know that he really needs to figure out his money, but definitely something's up that he should look into that cuz maybe he went over his daily limit. Maybe he didn't realize hair was going to cost that much cuz I was kind of like, "Damn. Is hair that expensive to get done now? $600?"
Well, they are on the West Coast.
That's a lot. Good God.
Everything on the
Yeah.
West Coast
And I
costs.
think for Caucasian women, like to get their hair dyed, it costs more than it costs us to get our hair dyed.
I wonder why.
I'm not sure.
But that was a lot to spend on two heads. I don't think they had extensions either. That was the part that I was like, how and why was it so much?
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, that's pretty much it. Work on that security, Chaz. You got to work on your insecurities.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Reese, do you have any thoughts on Chaz and Bronwyn this week? We have lost Reese. Okay, maybe she'll join us. She'll jump back on. Now, here she goes. All right,
Sorry about
Reese,
that.
sentence.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know if somebody already said it, but like my thoughts on that card is like what Sean has said, like he spent all this stuff. So first of all, he spent all that money. Yeah, I wouldn't want my daughter paying for it, but at the end of the day, if he just paid for their hair and all that stuff, like I kind of don't see her paying a little $40, $30, whatever, is that big of a deal. But yes, no, he should have been able to pay for it. But what I'm thinking could have happened is that he's not usually paying for beauty salons and all this other stuff. So they probably put a hold on that card
Mm-hmm.
and, you know what I'm saying, stopped him from being able to make any more charges. Not so much that he don't have any more credit left on it or money on it, but I don't think that's no red flag or nothing like that unless it's something that keeps happening. If it keeps happening, then okay, yeah,
Right.
I would go with I can't trust him and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, other than that, like I mean, y'all pretty much covered everything else that I was thinking about them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm curious to see what she gonna do about her daughter or Chaz, and yeah. But I don't have like too much of an opinion on it because I mean, not a whole lot happened. Oh, and about the phone call, yeah, I'm kind of with Sean. Like I understand why he was jealous, but at the same time, I'm with y'all on the fact that he gotta kind of calm down because she did answer it out, you know what I'm saying, on speakerphone on top of that. And coming from, like, I have a lot of friends that say I love you and all that stuff, or sometimes I say I love you to my friends, so I understand, but at the same time, I can see how that's awkward for him. Like, this is your first time really seeing her interact with her friends, so she got to understand that too. Like, he
Yeah,
might not be the type to say I love you to his friends. He might only say I love you to, like, his woman or his
correct.
parents or something. So I think she got to be kind of understanding as well. But as of right now, I still don't think she got bad intentions for him. So hopefully he can try to trust her, because it's gonna be a long, what, 4 months he gotta wait without her if he gonna
Hmm.
be like this. So
Yeah, and you guys gotta remember, he's still there from them getting married. So I'm still wondering, when is she gonna be alone with him, like truly alone? Because
I
this
don't
is
know,
because I think
but
they said it was day 2 or day 3. I don't
this is probably still her. The way he acted probably turned her off again. So he still probably might not get no booty.
know.
Yeah. And then she has to be back at the house by 6.
Hmm.
So all of
And
that, and I mean, I'm just glad he let her spend time with his daughter, because
But
her
yeah,
daughter, he could have complained about that, but he actually didn't. He just was like, he was happy to be their chauffeur and just kind of wait around.
yeah,
So I think that's a real hard choice to make, though, with her, and maybe realizing how much she wasn't there and being there for her daughter. And hopefully, maybe she's trying to see if she can monitor her and make sure she doesn't fall into her footsteps, because that's how she fell into becoming a drug addict
yeah.
and all that
'Cause
good stuff.
she did
Yeah,
say, and she told her daughter, I know that you're not using drugs, but like this is some things. That's how it starts.
right. And she wasn't using either at first,
Hmm.
but I can only imagine how hard that life is doing that.
Yeah.
The money might be good, but the mental strength it takes, because men
Hmm.
can be so disrespectful, and even though you're paying for it. It wouldn't be a business if you didn't spend your money there. But it doesn't, just because a woman does that doesn't give you the right to degrade her or make her feel less than. And I think the mental strength behind that is what causes them to end up probably doing drugs and doing stuff that they wouldn't have normally done had they just been able to just go do a job.
Yeah, and then she says it pays really good too. She did it. She said for 22 years. She
Yeah,
did.
she said the highest she ever got in one day, but I have to remember they're up north in Washington, right? Was
Mm,
like $3,000. So I guess it's not like there's a bunch of celebrities up there, not the way that you hear about these women in Atlanta or Florida, especially
Florida,
Miami.
yeah,
So I guess, I mean, $3,000 a day that's a lot of money. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
yeah, I might have to revisit my
There
second
you go.
job.
I might have to reconsider some BBLs and some more
You
stuff. You
know?
know what I'm saying? Maybe.
Oh gosh. I think they have an old woman's strip club up here. I've heard. I think it's in the cab.
Yeah, because what was it on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Phaedra and them had went. Remember
Yeah.
that episode?
Go to the old woman strip club.
now,
Do some amateur night.
now, if he don't get any before he leaves, that's not going to help with his insecurity.
No,
It's
it's
going to
No,
make
not.
it
him.
really ain't.
Mm-mm.
So she might have to suck it up and take a bullet, because if not, that's going to cause him, once he go down there for 4 months. You didn't give it to me. You out of jail. You giving it to somebody. So
Well,
that's something
I
that's going
guess
to keep his mind.
my whole other thing is, eh, does he work? Because I keep remember him saying he was retired.
I know you retired military, but
So
I don't
Yeah,
does
know.
he even
you
work?
can
So
retire
why
from
does he even have to go back to Kentucky?
I know you got that band, but I don't know that either. Well,
yeah,
he's in his
it's the
house.
band.
Maybe he don't
Yeah,
want to
so
sell his house.
he doesn't have to sell.
Oh, but he said he likes being around his sister because when he got out the military, he moved to Kentucky to be near his sister.
So if he has no job, I don't understand why he has to stay away for 4 months.
Yeah.
Well, he might not be able to afford another place for 4 months. Yeah, because that would too. If he could get a place there, then maybe she could have paroled to his place. He just lived up there for 4 months, so that's something they could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is very true. But y'all did bring up some good points there um, with those two. All right, so I guess we can just go ahead and jump into our next couple. So our next couple was Harry and Indy. So we see Indy, she's on the floor playing with her daughter with some dolls, and there's a banging on the door, like the police would bang on your door. And so she's like, who is this? You girl, you should have guessed it was your mom. But it was her mom, but her mom had came unannounced. And so Indy also reveals that she doesn't know how her mom knew her location. She was like, because she's never told her mom, that where she was or whatever. Um, so she did bring up, she's like, what if I'm sharing my location with my mom and I don't even realize it? But yeah, um, so her mom comes in and her mom was like, I'm about to take off my coat because I need to look around. I was like, oh Lord. And so Indy talks her mom into going to a bedroom with her. They sit down and they talk. And so Indy tells her mom what's been going on and about Terry, or what she knows of Terry. So Indy's mom tells Indy, call Harry. And so she does. And she calls him, says, like she wants to talk. So she's making it seem like she's about to come pick him up. But in reality, it's his mom, it's her mom. So then we see um, her mom is driving Indy's car and she pulls up on Harry. And Harry gets in the car. He's like, hey, beautiful, or something like that. Hey, love, or whatever. And then the mom pulls the hood off of her head and reveals herself that it's her. Right? Okay. And so they start driving, and she's having a discussion with Harry, about his actions and his behavior, what's going on, why did you, I forgot the way she worded it. It wasn't, why did you tell her to come out here? Or what did you say to her that made her want to come out here? So I can't appreciate that the mom has caught on that her daughter had some dealing with her going out there. It wasn't all Harry, pushing things into her ear, but she's like, at the same token, like, what were you saying to her that made her do this drastic move? All right. And so, Harry was like, I just told her, some opportunities that she would have here if she came. I'm like, okay. I wonder what these opportunities were. Maybe it was jobs. Maybe he told her we're going to get a place. I don't know. But their discussion, it becomes heated. It is. And their conversation ended with Andy's mom kicking him out the car. All right. Thoughts on Andy and Harry this week?
How I was so disappointed in that. She told him, okay, what did she say? You went in 17, came out 23, but you're still 17, which she's right. Like, he hasn't grown into a man. But we already know all of that. So what did you honestly think you were going to get talking to him? You know the situation. You know your daughter moved and she shouldn't have. I just I thought that was just kind of overkill. It ain't like your daughter's 18, 19. You know what I'm saying? She is 27 years
Right.
old. You should not be. She was like, because Indy was even like, yeah, she's fixing to get into mama bear mode. Girl, mama bear mode ends at 18. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight all your kids' battles. You can't be there to be their mouthpiece. And the fact that Indy knows what's going on and she's staying. You let her stay
Yeah.
and let her keep
Yeah. Because
suffering. Like, there's
yeah, her
nothing
mom had
you
made
could
a
have
statement
done.
like, yeah, her mom made a statement something like, well, it's time for you to go ahead and come home. And then he's like, did y'all see that part?
Yeah, she's not leaving.
Yeah.
And you had this conversation with him for what? What did you get out of it? What, the
Yeah,
joy that you got to
she
kick
didn't
this
really
man
say
out on the
anything.
side of the street somewhere in Ohio? That's your joy? Like,
I
you
know,
didn't resolve anything, you didn't solve anything, you did not get any kind of clarity for your daughter. You just caused a bigger mess.
right?
And you should, and she should know, of all things, you don't be coming up to people's doors banging like that. What if the sister was home?
Yep, and answer the
I would
door
be
with her
pissed that
gun.
somebody came to my door like that. I don't care who you are. Her
Right.
mama, her grandmama coming up at my door like that. Like, seriously? Like, her whole behavior was just not appropriate to me. It was horrible. You didn't get anything, no closure. Because it's everything that we've already said. He doesn't know how to tell Indy he don't want it. I think he likes her in the balance. Yes, you're right. They're both stupid. You told him something he already know. It's not, you haven't made any kind of point to him where he'll be like, oh, yes, I should keep Indy. No, if anything, you just like, damn, her mama just as crazy as she is. I don't want to be a part of this.
Mm.
So, like I said, I didn't understand what all that was about. I didn't like the fact. I didn't even like when when he. It's almost like you kidnapped him because he didn't even have a chance to get out the car. By the time
Right.
he realized who it was, you locked the doors.
But you know what was so crazy is I didn't realize, I'm not trying to say fat, I didn't realize how big her mom was. Because did you realize, like for me, if I got in that car and I was Harry, she is quite a bit bigger than Indy.
Yeah,
I
she
would have
how she
thought,
did.
yeah, I almost was like, dang, that looks like a man in that jacket. So
I don't think he looked. I think he just
he
got in
just
the
jumped.
car and saw the fur, and then when
Hmm.
he actually look, he was like, "Oh, that's not Indy." And that was a setup too. Like, how do you tell somebody to look for you and you send your mom?
Right.
I don't get that. I'm here, I have a daughter. She's 19, about to be 20. I am here to listen to your pains and your tribulations and to give you advice if you ask for it. But if that's the life you're going to live and that's what you want to go through, then that's what you got to go through to learn that you deserve better. She doesn't feel she deserves better. So I guess she's just going to sit there in his sister's house, making no money, living off of whatever, in hopes that he finally picks her. Because everybody's telling her she needs to go back home. Even the psychic told her she needed to go back home.
Yeah, and it was like her brother when the mom was on the phone with the brother, and he was like, "Hopefully, she's gonna come back home, or are you bringing her home?" Something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
buddy,
But
see,
you
she,
look on the previews and you see she's like, "Are we leaving or what?" No. Okay, well, the next thing is that sister's fixing to kick her out because
yeah,
obviously he's staying with the other sister.
hmm yeah, and the sister also told Andy she needs to get a job when she first came. Um, every time they show her, she's sitting around the sister's house. I've
Yeah,
seen
she
her
just sitting
clean
there.
some. Yeah,
It'll be I. Whew, we'll see how this ends next week. I don't think we'll have any closure, but I just didn't like all that. It's too much.
hmm
Too much for someone who's 27 who has two kids and you feel like you still need to go and be her mouthpiece. Like, no.
I thought she was 29. She's
Mm-mm. And
27.
she's in her
Yeah,
late 20s.
29.
She's
she's
29.
29? I thought she was 27. That's even worse. She's almost 30.
Mm.
Having
Uh,
her mama come and fight her battles.
Yeah, because
No.
she won't fight it herself. But
Right.
unless her psychic tell her to fight.
yeah, so I'm thinking maybe that's the issue. Maybe mom feels like she has to always come and save her. Well, instead of coming saving her, try talking to her. Well, I guess talking to her doesn't really work.
Mm-mm.
I was about to say just try talking to your child and just trying to get them to see where you're coming from. But no, Andy don't care.
Indy
She
does
wants what
not
she.
care. Any
Mm-mm.
woman, any woman who has a child who is willing to live off of somebody else that they don't know, she ain't caring about any kind of responsibility. She has none. It's
Yeah,
just that's not how life works. And then I guess that's how she thinks it works since her mama comes and bails her out every time she gets upset. Every time she does something, I guess her mom fights her battles for her. So I wonder what her mom's gonna do when she kicks her out. You gonna
Yeah.
come and talk to her and make her stay?
Now she will probably run down there with a U-Haul and go get her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
as you should. Make her
Yeah.
leave.
But I feel
Well,
like the mom shouldn't leave there without her.
I
That's what
don't
I.
think the mom shouldn't leave without that baby.
Yeah, she needs to take the baby at least. That baby
Yeah,
should
you want
not.
to be reckless with your life? Fine. I'm taking my grandchild. Bye.
Right.
I agree too with everything Johnny just said. Um, the When she first came and knocking on the door, I was like, "Whoa!" I thought maybe it was the cops or some other parole officer who was
Hmm.
coming up to open
Yeah.
up the door. And then when it wound up being the mom, then the next thing came, where's the sister? Because if she was at the house, then that would have been a problem. Well, at least it was my house. That would have been a problem. Like, don't come
Oh
knocking
yeah,
on.
because I'm like, who in the hell are you? Why in the hell are you beating on my door like this?
Right.
Right, right. So that right there, I had a problem with that. Then the other thing, when she picked up Harry and supposed to have been having a conversation with him, even though everything she was saying was true, I agree with the one statement that he made, and that was, I thought a conversation was supposed to be between two people.
You're
So
right.
if you're not going to give me an opportunity to say anything, then why should I even talk? Yeah.
Hmm.
And then when I do say something, when he did say something, you already just said, okay, nah, that's bull. So everything that comes out of his mouth, you're not going to agree with. And I
Yeah.
think that
So
one problem that us as parents have when we talk to uh, our children or children, we really don't give them an opportunity to say something, even though we do know how, if it's your kid, you know your kid, and you know the answer is going to be, and you know they lying when they're lying. So you already got it in your mind that you're going to say what you're going to say. But I've grown to learn how to listen, even though, a couple of years ago, well, maybe a couple of hours ago,
a
I
couple of
wasn't
weeks
even
ago.
listening. No, 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 no. I ain't gonna give myself that much credit. An hour ago, because I just got through watching the show. So I learned that I need to listen to my kids and give them an opportunity to express themselves, and then uh, call them out on it, saying you lying, you lying, you didn't know what you're
But
talking
you
about.
know what? But that's the whole thing with her. She wanted to. She didn't really want to have a conversation with him. She
Hmm.
just wanted to go and get everything she has on her chest off, and that's what
Hmm.
she wanted. And this has happened a couple of times in this episode, and it was kind of aggravating me. Because everybody wants to get everything off their chest, and they don't even care how their delivery is.
Right.
There's been a lot of screaming and yelling. Like, why are you
Mhm.
talking to another adult like this?
Oh, okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, because I was going to say which who you talking about, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh, it was a couple of them. Yeah,
Well, who's the
we're
second
gonna get
one?
to them. Mm-hmm.
Because you got
They
me in
were coming.
suspense. You know I can't wait. Who you talking about? Who you talking
Kayla and Martel, Antoine and Lacey,
about?
and
Uh-huh.
who else? Because I want to say I saw it 3 times. Why is 3 times sticking in my head? But definitely those couples right there.
Oh, okay. Then. Yeah, then I can go along with you, especially that Antoine and Lacey. That one
Mm-hmm.
that's a trip. But back to your thing. That's all I really got on them. Because other than that, I'm ready for them to be over with. Because she needs to move on with her life.
Yeah, I want her to take her and her baby and go.
Yeah, because the sad thing about it is that it's like she wants one person. If one person agree for her to stay, she's gonna feel justified in staying. Because
Hmm.
everybody's telling her to go. Everybody. But
It's
just
like
one
she's
person.
a
That's
defiant
something.
kid that
Yeah.
just won't just do
Hmm.
what you need to do. Just stop trying to fight it and just accept it. You tried. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to move on, but you got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, because I feel like that sister is going to put her out pretty soon, and especially if Harry gets arrested again, which is a probability because he still's not staying with Lydia. So yeah,
Oh, she's not with. He's not with her.
Uh-uh.
he's
He's with his
staying.
other cousin. He's with his other sister.
Oh, he was the other sister. Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Oh, maybe he told the parole officer because the parole officer did give him the 6 o'clock.
Okay, maybe he did.
I think so. For his sake. Um, but yeah, and then also too, I do agree that if the mother do leave, take the grandbaby with you. You know, I'm pretty sure Indy be glad to give up the grandbaby. That way she can say, "Well, hey, I tried, and Mama took my child," and boom,
Mm-hmm.
while she continue to party and do what she wants to do, um, live her best life without a kid. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, then that's pretty much it that I got.
Okay. So, Reese, what were your thoughts on Andy and Harry this week?
So I don't know. I was feeling like Indy made herself look super dumb in the beginning when she first started talking. She was just like, "Yeah, he's never here. When he's here, it's okay, but he's never here." Blah blah blah. Then obviously, you know what I'm saying. You don't know where the man at. You don't know if he actually staying with his sister. You don't know if he actually staying with Terry. Um, it just sent me back downstairs, backstage. I don't know why that happened. I was like mid sentence, I'm backstage. But so I don't know why she's even still there, period. And and I agree, like what I was saying about the job thing. Like every time they show her, she just sitting around either sitting around or playing with her daughter. Like, are you working? Like, what are you even doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't stay there, period. Even if it didn't work out with Harry, you need to figure your life out because you either need to get your own place or you need to go home, and you need money to do that. So I'm like, this chick is just crazy. And then I agree with y'all that the mom, I think it is kind of a messed up setup. They did him, and the mom was actually in the car, but I still thought it was funny because I think, I mean, I don't really care for Harry no more. So I'm like, I don't care that that happened to him. He a player, he a jerk, and I mean, and what she said and what he got, whatever, I don't care. Like, and she said she dropped him off somewhere. I actually was like, oh well. When she said that, she don't know where she dropped him off. She dropped him off somewhere in Ohio. I'm like, whatever. Um, that dude is he, and even though like y'all was saying, it wasn't a two sided
No.
conversation.
Oh,
I
sorry.
feel like he still has nothing of substance to even say back, so it really doesn't matter. That dude, every time he tries to explain himself, and he be like, "And I take accountability," but he don't. You know what I mean? So really, I could care less what he got to say because at this point, I feel like he playing games with everybody. He didn't got that girl like fired from her job. He got Indy sitting up in Ohio, just sitting there looking stupid. Like he doing the most, and I think he need to figure out what he want and do what he needs to do and get his life together. But mainly for her, she needs to go back to Maryland. She needs to, like I don't know, she stop making herself look so stupid, basically.
Right.
But one thing I liked how the mom kept saying Terry. I can't remember how she was saying it. She like the way she was saying it. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
the way she was pronouncing Terry. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, man, the mom had me laughing. But I mean, she like she said, if she but oh, she was how the mom was saying, she was like, if I was 19, 20, 21, 26, 27, I'd believe all this mess, but I'm not. I'm like, and neither is Indy, but she believe it. So you know what I'm saying? Indy's older
Right.
than her. But that's not neither here or there because what she was saying was true. Like the stuff he was saying is like it ain't even he's not even being sneaky about it. It's not like, is he cheating on me? I can't figure it out. He says he's at work. He says he's here. No, the dude just don't come back. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yep.
even um a mystery or you know what I'm saying, where you like, I got played and I didn't know I got played. You getting played in your face,
And you
obviously.
know it. Yeah.
Yeah. So just go home, take your daughter, stop subjecting her to something that you know ain't gonna be nothing. Um, my thing is, if that junk is really meant to be something, it'll happen. Go home though. Stop trying to force it there. But
Yeah.
that's really all I had because I mean, we've been seeing them for a long time and it's getting old because, like I said, every time they show Harry, he just being more and more of a snake, a dog.
A, a fuck boy. A fuck
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
And then when they show Indy, she just being more and more like just she like the punching bag, she's stupid. Like it's like, come on now.
And I mean, and if you want to sit there and be in that position, then
Yeah.
at least go get a job and take care of yourself, and make sure that if the sister kicks you out, you at least good to go. But I'm like, but you sitting there looking stupid in a position, and we don't even know if she working, and you got your child sitting in that position. I'm like, at least, like I said, if you're gonna be stupid, be smart, stupid, and at least be taking care of what you need to on the other side of this fake
Right.
relationship. Yeah.
Right. Alrighty.
Okay, I
So
must
we'll
have
move.
missed something. A question, because
Uh huh.
y'all, Reese and Johnny both mentioned it. I think you said too. So did the sister threaten to kick her out or something on a preview?
No, but
Or
when
y'all
Indy,
just saying
her,
suggest?
we're just saying that. But
Oh, okay.
the first episode where Indy was moving to the house, she said, I just want y'all to abide by my rules. And she was like, you guys, you need to get jobs, you need to
Hmm.
contribute
Gotcha.
to the house. So
All
she's
right.
not even working. I don't know if she might be contributing because she probably has a savings, but you didn't get a job like that woman asked you to do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. Well,
And then you just sitting at her house and she going to work, like she'll get tired
Yeah.
of that.
I know that would definitely make me mad. I'm going to work every day and you're just chilling at the house.
Yeah.
Like,
not
So
honestly, because it could be the editing. Now she could be working in the
she could be. She
because
yeah,
you know
could
she
how
be.
cause you know how they do. They do people wrong.
Well, we
Uh,
ain't. I mean, I'm saying from what we
no,
see, she's
yeah,
not
yeah,
working. But
yeah. I got you. I
she
got you.
could be working, and if she is, cool. I hope she's saving her coins so she can go back to Maryland, or at least get her own place if she gonna stay there and be, you know what I'm saying? Because you still gotta provide for your child. So to me, living at that man's sister's house, that's a temporary solution, but it ain't your permanent, especially if y'all ain't even together. Like she really ain't obligated to help her if her and the brother ain't together.
yeah,
So it's like you need to be prepared for that. That's why we say if she get kicked out, because I mean, if Harry's like, you know what, I'm done with you, Andy, I'm gonna go be with Terry. Now you ain't even dating my brother, so you're not gonna sit at my house. Um, you know what I'm saying? My brother already ain't there when he's supposed to be. You ain't gonna sit at my house while I'm at work. So
right. That's how I would feel. And then she's already called the probation officer on her own brother.
hmm
I think she'd have no problems with kicking Indy out.
I mean, yeah,
That's just my thought on it. But,
yeah,
yeah.
I
Anyway,
agree. So they need
yeah.
to go and be done.
So the next couple that we saw is Taylor and Chance, but that was only for a little short period of time, which is good because I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not a fan of Chance. I have to admit that I'm not a fan of his. All right, so we see that he's having a talk with Bobby, and he's telling her, he sees how helpful she is, and she's like, yeah, I love those girls. I love them, which I believe that those are her nieces, and and she basically he was trying to sweet talk her. He's saying all of these nice things that I feel like the second he gets mad, he's not going to feel that way anymore. And we should, the camera has shown that he doesn't necessarily feel that way about Bobby. Um, and so he ends up telling her about the fact that he has bought Bobby a ring. You could tell she is not happy about it. She doesn't think that's a good idea. And I don't know. I just have the feeling she's gonna end up telling Bobby before. I mean, she's gonna tell Taylor before. What do I want to call everybody Bobby? I think Bobby is going to tell Taylor about the ring before Chance has the chance to give it to her. That's what I kind of feel like. I don't think she's gonna keep it a secret, especially since she doesn't think it's a good idea. Um, but yeah. So, what is everyone else's thoughts on Taylor and Chance?
Uh, let me see if I can make this quick. Um, the apology, well, when he's talking about try to tell her how she was helpful around the house, I say, well, yeah, that's nice, but do you really mean it? But like
Yeah.
Bobby had called him out on it too, about how yeah, you sound good and all that stuff, but the moment you get upset, you blows up, and we have evidence of that, as she was pointing out. And then because what got me was the editing, because the commercial, because it made it seem like
Mhm.
he had asked permission to marry her, and she was like, "No, I'm gonna, tear it apart." But then when they
Yeah.
actually showed it, it didn't go that route. So I was like, okay, that was didn't have to do that because that kind of turned me off from the whole scene. After, especially after they showed what she was saying, that she was more concerned about her sister, which rightfully so. If you see that the person, your sister or your sibling, is trying to get what is no good, yeah, you should tell your sibling, So, but uh, uh, it's nice if you do propose, and if you do change, that'd be good. But like I said, I don't have much to say about them.
Same. Their stuff was short and simple. I'm glad Bobby came back. I was happy to see he grabbed her bag when she came in because I was like, well, that's gentlemanlike because you know what I'm saying, just
Yeah.
something nice. I am glad he apologized. Of course, Bobby needs to see it to believe it because you can apologize to you blue in the face, but if you keep doing the same thing, it's not gonna matter. So I'm 100% with her. With she accepted his apology, but she still need to see it before she say like, oh yeah, I think you good for my sister. And I mean, he's been out 3 weeks. They've been dating what, I don't know how long they've been dating, a year or something like that. If he is gonna change, like y'all said, and do the right thing, and they get married or whatever, hopefully. But I still think even if they get engaged, they need to wait, have like somewhat of an lengthy engagement, just because they haven't been face to face that long, and it's been kind of a roller coaster just in 3 weeks. So make sure it evens out before y'all really go get married. And yeah, we'll see if Bobby try to stop it or if she really ain't gonna allow that to happen. I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see that part of it. I'm still not, like I said, I'm still not a fan of Chance either. Still, because I think he's too controlling. But again, maybe he can change because, like you say, he's trying to get out of those prison ways, and I'm hoping those are his prison ways, not really his personality. He's just still on defense and all that because of prison. That's still, in my opinion, understandable. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm glad Bobby's back in the picture, and she's been to jail, so she knows. Like she said, you've been in prison, and of course, that prison love is different than when you get out. So give it that time. But if he does still end up proposing regardless, because I don't know if I missed anything with that, then we'll see what
Can I jump in on something
Mhm.
with you real quick, Brucey?
Yeah.
So this was something I was thinking about when he keeps on saying, he's doing certain things because his mindset is that of prison. But in prison, you can't get mad every time you don't get your way and behave the way that he behaves. It's like the second something doesn't go the way he wants it to go, he's got an attitude. Like when he was trying to figure out his whole license thing. You can't be behaving that way in prison. Them other prisoners beat and smacked him around.
But maybe he was aggressive like that in prison so that he wasn't the one. You know what I'm saying? So he could be top. He wouldn't be bottom. So you know what I'm saying? So he had to keep his like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe he was aggressive in prison because that's how he didn't get messed with. Or maybe when he did, you know what I'm saying, he was a fighter or whatever. I don't know what his deal was in prison.
Look, can we ask for more clarification from we about him having to be so defensive so he won't have to be a bottle?
Now, that's my personal opinion. He might not have been either. He might have been just celibate in prison.
Look, I can feel
the top and bottom.
Look, I can feel that explanation better than in prison, I just can't.
I don't know, because I mean, to me, Harry's aggressive and stuff. But I mean, I know he was probably from his upbringing too. And that's the thing, is we don't have a lot of background on him either. All we know is prison and now. Like, what were you doing prior to prison? They've never explained his story.
Yeah, I just know that he was a bank robber. That's all I
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, what was his story? Like, and he used to date. He had a lot of women. Outside of knowing he's a bank robber, and he had a lot of women.
Where is his family?
Yeah, so it's like not knowing his background is making it kind of hard to assume why he's so like defensive and why he's so angry and quick to do whatever. But like I said, my thought pattern was maybe he's aggressive like that because he had to be that way so he can be the top. If that was his situation, that wasn't a situation, then maybe he's just crazy.
Maybe. All right, Johnny, you got anything about Chance and Taylor? No?
You think he was top?
Actually, he could have been bottom, and that's why he's so aggressive now because he's
He
no
wasn't
longer
in
on the
prison.
bottom. Yeah,
Yeah, because he couldn't fight his way to the top. He couldn't fight his way.
And now
exactly.
he like, I ain't never gonna be bottom
I
again.
never. You ain't treat me like no bitch no more.
Yep.
Now everybody, all the women in his path, like, I ain't gonna be bottom. You bottom.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so he has to be
I
aggressive
can
to
see that.
Taylor in her position on the bottom. Now
I
he's
can see
finally
that.
on top. He don't know how to deal with the power.
No,
Yeah.
he don't. He power hungry. You know what? And I seen that when I was in the military. You see a lot of
You
people.
saw tops and then bottoms.
No, not tops and bottoms, but that
Oh.
power struggle. Like, and I knew it was some men who at home their wives was just treating them bad, I guess, because they came to work and they were evil and
Yeah.
angry and like bossy. And it's like then you hear them on the phone like, yes, yes, dear, yes, yes. I'm like, that's why. That's why, because you get bossed around at home, so you come here and boss everybody around. Or I knew some, not to knock anything with reservists, because I worked with some awesome reservists and National Guards, but I just remember some of them that were like um hiring, they were like officers, and I guess at their normal job maybe they weren't anybody, but then they came into those positions temporary, like when I was deployed, and they would be like on these power trips, and it's like, why are you so crazy? Like we do this military thing every day. You
Yeah.
do it once a month or on deployments, but we're not gonna give you respect. But they just was like crazy. So yeah, it could be that he was a bottom, and now he's like, I ain't doing it no more. Now he
Yeah.
gets to be top, and he just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but I've seen that like at my civilian job where people, I'm like, I know good and well you don't behave this way at home. I know you don't. I know there's no way. There's just no way. I just don't believe it. Well, yeah. And so our next couple was Lacey and Antoine. Alrighty. So we see that Lacey is meeting up with her sister. Looks like to have dinner, and the sister is asking her like, "Where's Antoine?" And so Lacey's like, "Antoine's not here. He's not coming." I think she said he went to go meet up with one of his friends, right? And so we see Antoine. He actually shows up for her, but when he arrives, he has a new face tattoo. Granted, I get it. I don't necessarily like guys with face tattoos, but he already has some face tattoos. So, and of course, we see that Lacey is not happy about the new tattoo, right? And so, her sister goes in on Antoine because before Antoine arrived, I think the same situation that happened with Taylor and Chance. She's been talking about Antoine and the things that she feels like he's not appreciative of with her, right? So, she's saying he's not humble, he complains all the time. And so the sister is already feeling some type of way. And then here he is. He shows up at the restaurant. He doesn't even realize what he's walked in on. So the sister starts going in on him and asking him questions and, you know, trying to figure out is he grateful for everything her sister's doing because her sister's breaking her back. And so we do see that. And so then Lacey, it's like they were tagging each other in, Lacey and her sister, right? And so now it's Lacey's turn. So now Lacey is basically going in on Antoine. And some of the things that she was saying, I wasn't even paying attention to because my thought process was, is this your man or is this your dog? Like, why are you talking to him like that? Like, I get it. I definitely believe in communication in relationships and marriages, but you can communicate with me without belittling me. And that's what I felt like she was doing, right? Okay, and so she had made a statement, something to the fact of, don't quote me exactly, but she basically said, I could be out here doing this for somebody else. And he's like, let me know how that goes. And it's like she just got super mad, super pissed off. And I'm like, but why, Lacey? You just talked to him like he was some puppy that just peed on your floor. And now you're upset that he said something back. That's something I don't understand with people who have nasty attitudes. Why do you think you are privileged enough that you can say whatever you want to somebody, but God forbid they say something back? And that was what bothered me about that conversation. It's like, you're saying that you want to be with him and la 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 la, you want to have babies with him and all these other things, but it's like the things you're doing is not going to make him want that with you. Your behavior, like who would want to deal with that? I mean, he may not want to deal with that from a one night stand. You are tripping, honey. Right, and so we see that oh, and then she had made a comment about his tattoo, which I get it if you don't like the face tattoo. I totally get it, but you didn't have to belittle him about his tattoo. She was like, then you come in here with this stupid little tattoo on your face. What can you do about the tattoo now? What was the purpose of you saying all of that? But whatever. I'm gonna leave that alone. She's just too controlling. And so we see Antoine goes to visit his mom. So it's like the next day, right? So he walks in, and his mom is excited to see him. She's hugging, she's kissing on him. But then I also did see it looked like he didn't like his mom kissing on him. So I was like, maybe this is just how he is, maybe, But you can tell he didn't necessarily like it, but he allowed her to kiss him. I guess he was like, my mom hasn't seen me. Let me allow this to go in. All right. And so they have a talk, and he tells her basically what happened at the restaurant the night before. But he gives her a nicer version of what happened. And you know, they also talked about the mom said that some of his ex-girlfriends have reached out to her wanting to know how to get a hold of him. And he reveals to his mom he has talked to a couple of his ex-girlfriends. Something else that the mom also tells us, she is explaining to him that she has I'm not going to mess up the name. Mm,
Cirrhosis.
cirrhosis. Yes, cirrhosis. Okay. And she says she's at stage 4, which is pretty bad. She's saying if she can stop drinking for 6 months, then she can go on the list. Um, do we think she's going to be able to stop for 6 months to get on the list? See, a unanimous no's.
Yes, she
Good.
can.
She can. Okay, Sean, you believe she can? Okay. Maybe now that Antoine is out, he can try to help motivate her and get her to stop drinking so that she can go on to the list. I'm hoping so because that's what's caused this issue. It's the drinking. So yeah, and he tells her that he wants her and Lacey to sit down and have a talk. And so, Christy seems like she's open to it. She's like, but will Lacey come? And he's like, he'll talk to her, whatever. Alrighty, so I want to hear everyone else's thoughts on Antoine and Lacey.
I think she have a better chance of not drinking for 6 months than they having a good conversation between him and Lacey. Uh, the other thing, I thought that was kind of big of him to try to get his mom and his girlfriend to try
Yeah.
to sit down and talk and work things out because that shows that he is, I guess, leaning towards being with Lacey or wanting a relationship with her. Even though the mom did ask about, even though he said he is kind of talking to the other women, and the mom had said, "Well, I thought you were supposed to be trying to be faithful," so that right there, I'm not big on cheating. If you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship with someone. The cheating thing, I'm not for, and I don't recommend people to cheat. But if he leave her because he cheated on her, I ain't gonna. I give him a pass. I might not give nobody else in the world a pass, but I give him a pass. I'm just saying. Uh, and then the whole thing about the tattoo before when he walked into the restaurant, before he walked in the restaurant, and how the sister Lacey was talking to her sister and telling her sister all the stuff that he's doing wrong. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking that the other sister, the older sister, she should know how her little sister is or how she was, because that to me don't seem like the type of person that just happened to be that way. I just recently became that way. So she just a nagging and talking about he's this and he's that. He ain't doing this. He's ungrateful. And the sister never asked, well, what have you done? Or did you do anything? No, how did you handle it? Did y'all talk about it? She just took in everything that her sister said. And then when the guy come in, she pretty much go into attack mode. And then the I said kudos to the comment when he's like, yeah, let's see, let me know how that works out. Because wow, I would have got up and just walked out. But then I was thinking, well, he probably couldn't because that was his ride, so he had to sit there and take it. But I think I would have walked out and walked home because that to me the walk home would have been a whole lot more pleasant than sitting down there and listening to these two women attack me and then talking about you need to apologize to my sister for how you making her feel. But you and your sister is coming at me and I didn't do anything wrong. You know, yeah, I got a tattoo on my face, and we did supposedly discuss this here thing. And you talking about your feelings. I was like, man, she really is starting to sound more and more like the mom in a relationship. And that's not going to keep that young man. He's going to get what he can out of it, and he's going to move on. So if she wants a relationship with him, she's gonna have to stop being like a mom and more like a girlfriend. So because that's like I said, that's gonna draw him away, and that's it.
Yeah, that sounds straight mommy. Especially when she said, I told you not to get another face tattoo. Bitch. I'm sorry. I was like, hell to the no, you don't tell me. That's like if that were a man, how would you feel? You know what I'm saying? If that were a man telling a woman what she could do with her body, how would that spark you? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, he already had face tattoos. He told you he was getting more. How did you figure his face was off limits just because you told him? Like, I don't think he cares about what you tell him to do, because you're not his mother. And I their relationship is just weird. He's I think he's trying, but I don't think he's invested. And she's one of those women who I did. You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing. I did. And it's like, damn, can he get out of jail for 3 days? Like, what else did you expect him to do? What is it you expect someone who's on house arrest to damn do? What is
Yeah,
he supposed to do? Like, I don't understand the expectations these women have for these men who are on freaking house arrest. They can't do nothing. They're on house arrest. So what he could bring to the table is his body. That's it, because he can't do nothing else. So that was getting on my nerves. I don't like her. She's just ugh. And
Okay,
then
so I'm sorry I had to step away. So I guess y'all moved on to Martel and
no, we're still talking about what's his face.
Lacey and Antoine.
Yeah, because she was
Oh,
asking him what can he bring to the table? What can he do? Or
yeah,
he don't do anything. He's not doing anything. He's only been out of jail for 3 days. What the hell is it you want him to do? You want me to
right,
put this in my name? You want me to do this? You want me to? You're the one who took him to a car dealership.
right. He didn't ask her to.
He
Oh,
didn't
would
ask
you
her all
buy me
that.
to a car dealership? He did not say that to her.
He didn't ask her. You're the one who did all that. So what is it you want this man to do? He came
She
out of
wants
jail.
to
He's been
control
with
him.
you. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
she wants
7 days.
to control him.
It was
Yeah,
7 days because that's how he was able to see his mom. And I felt bad for her. And I felt bad for him because as a son, he's struggling because he wants to tell his mom, please don't do any more drugs. Not drugs. Please don't drink
drink.
anymore.
Uh-huh.
But he also realizes that it's his mom's life and that she can do whatever she wants to do. That at the end of the day, it's her decision, not him forcing her or whatever. I'm sure she knows how much her son loves her or how much her kids love her. And to try and fight that demon of drinking that alcohol. And that's just to get on the list. She has to stay sober longer to stay on the list.
Yeah,
So there's really no guarantee that she would ever really qualify for a liver transplant. And that's scary. I can't imagine walking that line of life and realizing I'm at the end if I don't change. So
right.
she seemed like she had humbled herself a little bit. They didn't say how many months it's been since she drank, so they didn't go into that part. But I pray for his mother and I pray for him as he deals with watching her go through her struggles. I don't know what else to say to that. I think that's really sad because he's so young, 27. He's
Yeah.
young. So uh, I was kind of surprised to see how nice her house was, though. Was that only me?
Well,
Hmm.
no, you know what? I was waiting to see what it looked like because of the comments he made about Lacey's house. I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's right. Because he
hmm,
said he was surprised her house wasn't as it was lower than his house, right?
yeah, something to that effect. He was like, I guess it'll do. I was like,
Yeah.
I want
So
to see how his mama's living then.
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. She actually lives pretty nice. That's a nice house.
Yeah, but I did spy her Louis.
Yeah. So, um, Lacey, if you want a man, you don't want a man, you want a boy.
Yeah,
So try and go find you a boy who has mommy issues and who will listen to what you tell them to do.
right.
Now, also, because when you had brought up about he gonna have to might have to grow up losing the mom. If he's with Lacey, I don't think that she's gonna be supportive of him.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, she's
Yeah,
not gonna understand his grief.
nah, because
She's
I
not.
think she's gonna be doing them little smirks and be like at the
Yeah,
funeral. Oh, she was
Side
a good
smirks,
friend.
side comments. Well, if she'd stopped drinking, you
Yeah,
don't that should we don't know his mom's issues or her story or why she's turned to alcohol. I don't we don't know her story like that.
but you
And
know
it's really
what?
hard to be so judgmental of people like that. This world has just gotten so crazy with being so judgmental because you don't do it and you can just judge people who do. You
But
have
you
no
know,
idea what her battle was.
yeah, but you know something else I thought about, like with the mom and Lacey. Chances are Lacey knows exactly why that mom is drinking because they were friends.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
to now treat her and talk about her like this on TV, I don't agree with that. No,
Because then you were
because I
really
tell
never
you,
friends.
right, right,
Yeah,
and
'cause
that's
she
not
probably was
even,
drinking.
and that's the thing. Because even when you stop being friends, you still don't air out that person's dirty laundry or try to make them look bad. You know, because trust me, if I became a drunk tomorrow, Johnny would know why I'm a drunk.
Right.
And it would be wrong of her to go on TV. Well, she's just drinking. She's out of control. She's nah, 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 nah.
Well, depends on how much money she getting, huh?
I know. And it depends on the situation.
Look,
Yeah,
Johnny,
so
you know, put me out
you're not a good friend, Nene.
there.
You're not a good
Oh, I
friend,
ain't
Nene.
saying
You're
now.
very
I
selfish,
ain't,
Nene. You're
I
very
ain't saying
selfish.
now.
You're gonna still give me a cut, right, Johnny?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, you
I got you,
selfish,
John.
Nene. You just selfish, selfish,
Okay,
selfish.
okay.
But yeah, I just think that's crazy. And I don't know. Lacey just like I said, she doesn't want a man. She wants
No,
a
not at all.
boy. You need to
Yeah,
get
she wants
yourself an
somebody she
18 year
can
old, 19 year
control
old.
and talk to any kind of way. Yeah, because you're not
Hmm.
even talking to him like that's your man, that you love him.
And I give him kudos for totally, like Sean said, sitting there
Yeah, he took it.
and just like whatever. And then that's the whole thing. If you're going to sit there and brag about that you can get better, then go get better. You ain't got to brag, just go get it.
Yeah.
I would have
And
said
I
if
felt
you
like she was
need
like, did
better.
you just disrespect me like that? You just
No.
disrespected him and told him you will go get somebody else. Like, you don't
Yeah.
say that to your spouse.
Mhm.
Yeah. What did you think he was going to say?
Yeah,
No,
so tell me,
no,
Sean,
no.
yeah. What if your woman was like, Sean, I do XYZ, ABC, but you know what? I can go do this for another man.
I'm gonna
How,
say you found me on prison.hub, so I'm pretty sure you
yeah.
can find another one. Wait another 4 years.
You know, but
That's funny. Hey, any other thoughts on Lacey and Antoine?
I really don't have nothing on them. Like I think y'all pretty much said it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like that little tattoo either, but I mean,
Yeah, like
that's it.
I didn't like the tattoo. And then it was like NWA, but I know he's trying to say North Washington with the NWA, but I was still like,
there
yeah,
wasn't
I don't know. It
there
was
was no
NWA.
N. It was just WA.
I thought he said he
Washington.
got it. It was NW. That's what I thought he said. It was NWA.
He said WA.
WA. It's just
Okay.
WA for Washington.
All
And
right.
then who was that? The sister who made the smart ass remark? You're gonna get the zip code on.
Yeah, I was like, shut up. I see where y'all get it from. Y'all probably grew up
Yeah,
watching your mom demasculate men.
Yeah,
it
that's
kind of felt,
probably what it was. You're absolutely right.
but it kind of felt like at first the sister was holding small talk, and it's like they was having a good conversation,
Oh yeah,
and
she turned it off and
and
on
then
real
she
quick.
looked, then she did a will and looked at Jade, and it was like, oh, she's not feeling this here, so let me go up here. So yeah, because once the sister turned, and then that's when she turned on him. But it seemed like they was going along with first.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because she was in it, she was listening to Lacey. Lacey was riling her up. She was riling Lacey up. And then he walked in. It was like she turned it off. She code switched on him real quick. That's what she did. She code switched on him. Yeah. And then she switched it back. It was like she got that permission. Like she looked over at Will or Jada, whatever way you want to look at it. And she brought it back out and started getting on him again. But, yeah. Hey, and so our next couple was Rick and Ray Dean. Okay, so we see the episode. I mean, their scenes start out. They're riding on Rick's motorcycle. So he finally got her boobs on his back. Sean, you remember that? Okay, and so we see that they are going shopping. They're in like a motorcycle shop, and Radine is looking um, at leather jackets. So um, they're looking at leather jackets. And so Rick, he's like looking at the camera. It's not necessarily a confessional, but he's talking to the camera. And, he's kind of expressing, he don't really have that much money to spend. And so Radine is like looking at jackets and, he kind of says something to her about how much he has to spend. And she's like, well, this check is 250. Is that in the budget? And he says it kind of isn't, but he ends up buying it for her because we see her wearing the jacket later in those scenes. And um so he buys it. So then we see them on the bike, and Radine is wearing the jacket, as I stated, and they kind of pull over to, I forget what you really call them, like a pull off on the highway. And so they are sitting there and they're talking, right? And Rick is saying to her he wants her to claim him on social media. So I guess he sent her, I'm in a relationship request and she won't accept it. I said, right? Because he's saying she's not claiming him on public on social media. Alrighty, and then we see the next day. So I'm assuming that Radine spent the night. That's what it looks like. They've got coffee cups in their hands. It looks like they're having their morning coffee, and it looks like the air is a little chilly as well. Alrighty, and so Rick again brings up them living together. And so Radine is frustrated by it. And I like Rick. I do like Rick. But I can understand it. It is like he just keeps bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. And she's kind of expressed to you how she feels. And it's like, if you keep bringing it up, she's not going to change her mind by doing that. You're just annoying her. All right. Okay. So she becomes upset with him. So she gets a phone call. We know it's her dad. I don't know if Rick knew that was her dad or not. And so Rick, he did something real petty. He was like, is that your prison pet? Which I didn't necessarily think that was called for. He didn't need to do that. I get it. You want to make all these little sly remarks or whatever about Kay, but now you look childish saying that. Right? Okay. And so, basically what happened, Radine tells him, I really want to hit you right now, but I'm not going to, so I'm going to walk away. Which I can respect that. Walk away before you become violent with him. And so we see that Radine ends up having a conversation with the roommate. I want to call her Robin, but that's not her name. Her name Ramona. That's her name. And so they are talking, and basically Ramona ends up like checking Radine, right? And so, she's just like, you don't care for him the way in which he cares for you, and you won't even claim him on social media yet. This was the man that took care of you for the last 4 years while you were in prison. which, and I get it. But Radine, she takes offense to what she's saying, and she's like, no, 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 no. Right now, you're judging me. You're talking as if you know me. It's like I could kind of understand where Radine was coming from, but at the same token, I understood where Ramona was coming from. She's just tired of watching you treat her friend or not treat her friend the way he deserves to be treated. So it was kind of like I could almost see from both sides, but I'm like, Radine, maybe Radine is not being honest with herself, maybe about her relationship and what she wants from Rick and what's going on there, because it does seem kind of bad. Like this man, he's begging you basically to just claim him on social media. He's begging you for sex. Um, he's having to beg you for all these things, but when it comes time to buy your motorcycle jacket, that we found out was like $250, you're on board with him doing that. But God forbid he does anything outside of what you want him to be doing. So I don't know. I want to hear everybody else's opinion about Rick and Radine. And then also tell me if y'all felt like the roommate was out of line with what she said to Radine.
I don't think she was out of line.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she was keeping it real. Like she told her, like, I opened up my house in hopes to help, my friend, my roommate,
Mm-hmm.
and you haven't shown him anything, so he's going to be the way he is because he hasn't shown you haven't shown him anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Radine was the way she was getting mad. Like I get why she was getting mad, but because the roommate coming at her. But nothing that the roommate said was untrue. Like you haven't been, and you haven't been. Like what you're doing, and you married, you ain't really trying to be with this man for real, but yet, you're sitting here acting like um, you know, just the way she's acting, it's like, dude, you just wrong all around. So everything that to me, all the little smart comments, yes, what he said was petty and it was wrong. Like what did he say, prison pet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was messed up. Like obviously, that's gonna make her mad. So if his goal was to make her mad, then yeah, hey, checkmate, good job. But if it wasn't, then I think that was dumb of him to say. But I mean, but she's been crappy and treating him. You know what I'm saying? He's done nothing but try to be good to the girl, do nice things for her, buy her stuff, and she's not grateful. So I don't mind what the roommate said. I was like, go roommate when she checked her.
Yeah.
And it was like, bye. I'm like, how you kicking her out? But I was like, I ain't even mad at it. So
Yeah, I felt the roommate
like,
was
well,
in her place. I don't. She and like she told her, I'm not judging you, and just the fact that she was getting mad at what she was saying, she was being called out, and of course,
Yeah.
when our people are called out, they're
exactly.
always upset. So I think she was fine with what she said. She didn't disrespect her anyway.
Yeah. She.
She just pointed out you don't care for him the way he cares for you, and that's okay. It is okay to feel that way, and it's okay to let him know so he can stop getting under your skin so much because he wants to be uh
Yeah.
he wants to be number one. He's not number one, and he's not number one. Now the part that trips me out is the whole social media thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that part because I've never made anybody official on my social media, and I don't expect people to make me official on theirs. It just That's not going to make or break our relationship because I'm not on your social media as your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think I think that's a little
No,
much,
I
but
I do agree with you with that, but if I was dating a guy and he was letting me know that it is bothering him that I haven't, I might would reconsider it then.
I wouldn't. It's too many people in my business. I'm not on it enough for you to be worried about it. So I guess that's would be my
Yeah, I
argument.
think that's also my big thing why I don't every time I'm dating somebody or whatever change it or whatever. But I do feel like if they had a problem with it and it's something, you know, just click on I'm your boyfriend or whatever, I wouldn't have a problem if they push the issue. I wouldn't argue with them about it.
Yeah. So I just like I said, I don't know why that would solidify your relationship even more than it already is. So that does nothing for me in the sense of making me feel like I am your one. I don't care about your social media. No, I don't want you to care about mine. So it's just, I don't know. It's just weird why that was part of the argument. I think Rick knows in his hearts of hearts that she's not what he wants her to be, and he needs to cut the cord too. Because I probably would have said, "Nah, I'll buy you that $250 jacket when I'm your number one. Why don't you have
Yeah.
Kay buy it for you?"
Or
You know what I'm
even
saying?
or even when I can afford to buy it, because
I
he keeps
wouldn't
buying
say
things that
that.
he can afford. Remember, he bought her all those underwear that he couldn't afford.
Yeah, he
I'd be
said
like,
he
yeah,
spent
when I can
about
afford to
ten to
buy it,
twelve
maybe
thousand
I'll buy
dollars
it.
on her.
Yeah.
But at this point, you know you're not her number one. So why are you still buying and doing for her if you know that's not what you're not her one?
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait to buy him anything. I'd be like, well, I guess your number one will get it for you. Have fun. Well, oh, you need that? Maybe ask Kay to get it for you. Oh, she can't. You guess you're gonna have to wait 4 years. I'm not spending any more money. So why he still keeps spending his money on her, I don't know. That's just stupid.
I think he's doing it because he's hoping that each gesture is gonna
But
change her
it's
mind.
not.
Yeah, because you see, he bought her the jacket, and then what did they do?
They
They
fought.
off on the bike, and then they stopped where that's where he started up again about them living together. So
Yeah.
it's like he does something nice, but then he comes back with things he knows is going to annoy her, like talking about Kay or talking about them living together. It's like, how many more times do you need to bring it up before you realize she don't want to talk about it? It's not going to change your mind. All you're doing is aggravating her. But I think it's really aggravating her because she just does not want to live with you, and she does not want to be with you. So I think that's the thing.
Well, I think he keep on bringing it up because she really haven't honestly answered the question. I think. Uh, and then the social media thing, to me, I think the reason why he want her to put it on the Facebook because he knows that Kay will see that she's in a committed relationship and that he's number one and she lost. That's what I think. That's the reason why he wants to do that. Uh,
Okay. I
yeah.
mean, that's a different way to look at it. So maybe that's
Mhm.
what he's doing.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny that he did say your pet prisoner because he's hurt, his feelings hurt.
I mean,
And
it
he
is like
hurt.
funny to watch it on the screen, but in person, that would like if he had said that to me, and I know he's talking about somebody I care and have feelings for, I would have gotten mad too.
Yeah,
Like,
because
but
he
from a viewer standpoint, I did think it was a funny little jab.
yeah. And her defending it. Yeah, I can see why she rightfully did it because that's her wife.
Hmm.
So but he don't know that. To him,
Yeah,
that's just a side piece. But they both side pieces in his mind, and he one of them. Well, she's the main piece, and he's the side piece, and he wants to be the main piece.
yeah,
But
he's a
so
side piece.
yeah, but he don't know all of the details. So yeah, he went after her. And then in her little confession thing, how she's saying that she don't want to say because she don't wants to be the bad guy, and if
Yeah,
she tell him, then she's now the bad guy. But you
but she
don't mind
is the
being
bad guy. She needs to just
right?
live with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So just come out, come clean, and if he's willing to stay with you after all of that, then hey. If he decides to leave, then you be faithful to your wife, or find you another guy that's going to be willing to do all that stuff that Rick's doing for you. But to me, I don't think it's because she don't want to be bad guy. I think she's just enjoying all of the perks that's coming with being with Rick. And if Kate
Hmm.
was to get out next month, uh, she would drop Rick and go be with Kate, and she just
Yeah.
be having fun because she's talking about she wants them to just go with the flow. So as long as she gets what she wants and he don't ask any questions, as long as he don't bring up the commitment, she can not have to worry about telling him, "Oh, I'm already in a committed relationship. This is why I can't be committed to you." So she don't wants to deal with that. So she gets mad and she reflect. The time he brings it up, she gets mad. and she reflects, and then how her answer to him wanting to be on social media, I thought that was just smooth. How she just went on and said, "Oh, we don't need that," and you need to think about what we are or where we at now, and just worry about the now, and don't worry about all that social media stuff. I was like, man, that was nice. She need to be a politician, So how she just reflect.
She sounds like a cheating man. That's what she sounded like.
Well, maybe she is. Maybe she's the one on top. When she was in prison, she
Oh,
was on
she's
top.
the top.
Yeah. So hey, so she know how to handle Rick. So yeah. And then with the roommate, I don't think she was out of line because that's her friend. She's very concerned about her friend, and she
Mhm.
also was showing Radine, pretty much giving her pointers. The reason why he's acting the way he is that it's really not about you moving in; it's about you making a commitment. And if you was to show him that you truly committed to the relationship, then maybe he might not ask you to move in because she did say, "I agree with you staying with your parents," or I
Yeah,
feel
she's like she understands.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, and then too, personally, I don't think the roommate wants her to move in anyways. So, because you're gonna be violating her space, and then y'all two be clashing. So, but she said she was willing to do that for her friend. So, yeah, they did try to. I am trying to help you, so you can't say that I'm not trying to help you out, type thing.
Hmm.
And like Johnny said, when someone you call out, and that's all it is, that she just called out on all the stuff, and she's just upset because she got called out, and she's like, let's just drop it type stuff. But it all would end if she just tell the man, I'm married. I didn't appreciate you talking about my wife like that.
Hmm.
And then he can be like, oh, because to him, that's just another person. That's the competition. Because if you in a relationship, if it was another guy, and you dating a guy, and you know that he had three women on the side, you're gonna talk about those women, try to put those women down because you want to be with that guy.
Yeah.
So, and
It
then that's
actually
not.
remi- yeah, it actually reminded me. I'm do a little confessions here. I remember when I was younger, much younger,
How
and
young? You said you 21.
yeah, I was younger than 21, much younger. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, you was 16. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
probably around there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah. Yes, and so I started dating a guy pretty fast after he had broke up with his girlfriend. And I was insecure about it. Didn't know how to vocalize how I'm feeling. So instead, every chance I got, I would make side comments about her and stuff like that, trying to make her look bad. And that's what that reminded me of at that moment. I was like, that reminds me of when I did that
right.
because I wanted him to look at her a certain way. So I was saying things to try to make her, look crazy or whatever. I see somebody dressed crazy. I'm like, is that your ex right there dressed like that or whatever? I would just be saying things that it wasn't even necessary. It's like, why are you doing that? But that's what that reminded me of now.
Well, yeah, you was a teenager, so it don't matter. You older.
Right.
You're older now. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah, Rick was too old for that.
Yeah, he really was. Like now, I wouldn't do it, but but exactly. But I'm nowhere near Rick's age either. I'm 21 and I know better. So Rick knows better.
See what happens when you become an adult. You know better. You learn from your past mistakes. It only
Right.
took you 5 years, but hey, that's good
Exactly.
for you. Good for you. People like Rick and myself take us much longer because we so
Oh, it takes
old.
y'all much longer.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause we so old. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
old.
I guess. Yeah.
Old.
I guess I'll know one
Old.
day.
Yeah.
About
Older. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
30
Yeah.
years.
One
I don't
day.
know.
We know you old.
Yeah. You're right. I still am old. I'm proud to be 66 years old. You
You're
young
not
whippersnappers.
66.
Do you see that? Now, did I tell people your real age?
It's
Shame on you.
it's
See, I told you everybody she was selfish. She's selfish. You selfish. You selfish. That's
fine.
right
I'll admit it. I'm 22 now. I had a birthday. There we
there.
go. Yeah. Alrighty. Any other thoughts on Radine and Rick? Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Alrighty. So we'll move on to Kayla and Martel. Another one. They're just toxic. They are toxic for each other. I'm basically at the same point of it with India and Harry. I think they need to really. evaluate this relationship and probably just leave each other alone. Like they just go too far. All right, so last week we saw that Kayla had drove off from the barbershop and had left Martel there. But this week we see she actually drove back to the barbershop. And then when he came over to the car, she scooted over so he could drive, which I didn't understand that. And I felt like for me, I was like, oh, is this a setup? Is she going to attack him from the passenger side while he's driving? I don't know why that thought came across my mind. But yeah. And so they are talking, and of course Michaela, she gets heated real quick and she starts talking and she's always screaming, I'm being disrespected, I'm being disrespected. Well, in this instance, you was disrespecting him first. You started yelling at him. That's disrespectful. And so she's like, she is she basically let him know that she wanted an apology. And he told her, he was like, well, if you are looking for an apology from me, you're not going to get that. Which I kind of struggle with that. I feel like maybe he could have given her one if that's what she wanted to like calm down the situation. But when he said that, that just escalated her up even more, made her even madder, right? And so she starts yelling at him. She even tells him to get out the car and stuff. And I'm thinking he's driving, but I know it's your car. But I don't know, whatever. So now you want to put him out on the side of the road now? Granted, I get it. I wouldn't have liked it either. If somebody tells me that they're not going to apologize for something I feel like they should apologize for. Um, and so we also see that apparently, I don't know how it ended up happening, but somehow she ended up going to a hotel because they were fighting so bad. So she felt like that was the best thing to do. And she said he's on house arrest at her house for the next 3 months. And so yeah, so she spent the night at the hotel. So she goes back home. They start talking about it. They make up in the Martel and Kayla kind of way because I can't really say that I felt like that was a good makeup conversation. And of course, what happens? The one thing I guess Kayla's in love with, they have makeup sex. All right. Alrighty. And so that's pretty much all that happened with them this week. I want to hear your thoughts on Michaela and Martel.
She, oh my gosh. Sorry, I was tearing these chips up, so I didn't want everybody to see me. But she's too much. She's too much. Like, I mean, they're both toxic. Toxic. I think they need to split up. But her instant, like, yelling at the top of her lungs, like, she can't express the words, period.
No.
And it's hard to watch it. Because I'm like, dude, like, you could even see when he was driving, like, he was starting to get mad. Like, it looked, I don't know if that was production doing anything crazy with it, but, like, he was swerving and hurried up and pulled over and, driving. I'm like, okay, you sitting there yelling in this man's ear. He trying to drive. Like, let him park first of all, before you start doing all that craziness. Because that's your life, too, in danger if he driving crazy. Second of all, your point isn't going to get made or heard or understood if you just instantly go into, like, high pitched yelling, because I'm like, I wouldn't even want to hear that. It's like she just at the top of her lungs just yells and yells and yells. So I'm like, nothing's ever gonna get accomplished in their relationship if that's how she's gonna always talk to him. And she know how he is. He's one of them that, like she said, it's hard to get him to even apologize when he's wrong. And then it's like I don't know, like they're like oil and water, and it just ain't, to me, it ain't a good mixture that is gonna work. Sometimes you get people that are complete opposites and they can be great. But I think them two, they're two, and I don't know if they're like so different so much as they both got really strong personalities, and they both like she. Granted, I'm glad they're both forgiving very easily, because every time they have these big blowouts, they do come back together and try to work it out. But it seems like it isn't gonna matter because they're gonna blow up again the next day or the day after. So for me, I feel like we can't even really get to know them as a couple because all they do is fight, and it's annoying.
Right.
And it's not even good fights because we can't even like, you know what I'm saying? We just really can't even get to know them, or like we can't even understand these fights because they're so petty. It's like either it's typically him being like, "This is what I want to do, and I don't care what you got to say," and her yelling. And it's annoying. Like if this is all if this is all they are, then yeah, I'm over them. And that's all I had.
You know something else that I was thinking about
What?
that bothered me with them, and also with Lacey as well, Lacey and Antoine. She was sitting there screaming, talking about
What she does?
everything is on me. Yeah, everything is on me. Car insurance is on me. Car note is on me. Okay, what did you think was going to happen when he got
You
out of
dating
jail?
a prisoner,
Did
yeah.
you think magically he was going to have a job? Did you not have a car before you met him? Did you not pay car insurance before that? I mean, did you
Yeah.
go get a car especially for him? And now you're like, I'm stuck with insurance. I'm stuck with a car note. Like,
Yeah.
nobody put a gun to your head and made you do anything for this man.
Yeah.
So I don't understand throwing the things that you're doing for him in their face.
Oh, and then I noticed she had that couch was pretty nice too. I was like, okay, she got more furniture. Every time we look in there, there's something new. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, the furniture, all that stuff looked really nice. So I was like, okay. So I guess that's why she working hard to make it nice for him, and he just keep doing what he want to do. But either way, as we see, he's stuck at your house. You had to go get a room while he was at your house. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Enjoying the things that you paid for, and you had to go pay for a room. So to me, you got to come to a conclusion of, is this worth it? Because now this is becoming too expensive, or is it worth it for us to fight so bad that I have to leave? Like, or can somebody her need to calm down with her yelling? Like he tried to tell her, like everything you said, we could have came to conclusions, but you yelled, and he said that.
yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Get your life figured out, and all of them, man. I'm like, gosh, like y'all, and they gonna use the title of my movie to my "What's Love Got to Do with It?" But this ain't even interesting enough for you to be using this title
It's not
for
love.
this show, We TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not really love. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess there might be a couple of couples that might actually love each other or have love for each other. Sorry about that. But they just need to end too. I'm sick of them. She's annoying. He's annoying. They're both annoying. And I'm tired of the TV time that's being given to them.
Just for them to keep yelling, it's like the same, just different settings,
Right.
same thing. Like
It's the same thing. You feel
ah,
like he doesn't respect you
and
because he
she yelled.
doesn't. And
Yeah,
then
she
he
yells.
wants it to be his way and it's not going to be. So therefore y'all just are in this constant cycle of
Mhm.
arguing.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, like, you're either just going to keep tolerating his disrespect. I
Hmm.
like when she said getting an apology from him is like squeezing juice out of a boiled egg. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, that's not a person you should want to be with. You want
No, it's not.
somebody who can recognize they made a mistake and say,
Right.
I am sorry.
And
And
then
then
to
he did say she was not even an hour late. So it wasn't hours that he was sitting there waiting on her. He said you were almost an hour late. So all of that stemmed from being almost an hour late because she didn't have respect for your time. But when it was the other way around, she wasn't mad at you. So
but
it's just
something she said that I was kind of like, when she was like, she always apologizes when an apology is due. I'm sorry if you drove off and left me at a barber shop. Even if you came back, you could have apologized to me for that.
You know what? He didn't know she was gone because he was cutting
he
his
was in
hair.
the
That's what I
shop.
was thinking. Maybe he didn't know.
When he got back out, she was out there waiting on him.
Yeah, I was still kind of like, why are you there waiting on him? She should have left. And no, she didn't owe him no apology for that. Not the way he got out the car talking to her. Hell to the no. That is so weird. No, no, no. So their whole thing, they just need to stop. It's too much to
Yeah,
watch.
it's too
And
much
imagine if a kid
toxic.
could get in that. Imagine if
Yeah,
she
I
does
think
get pregnant and they do have a kid. Like, what the hell kind of life upbringing for that child?
I
That
think
is
they were good
crazy.
while he was in prison. Like I think face to face they're toxic.
No, they're
Yeah,
not good for each other.
because he did say it.
No.
He said when he was in prison, when she started yelling, he could just hang up the phone and walk away from it. But
So
now,
see, he already knew she was a yeller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he already knew. He already knew. I think he just likes when she does for him and she's quiet. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like for her to have an opinion or say anything outside of what he wants her to say.
Hey, Sean, what were your thoughts on Martell and I want to call her Michaela so bad, and Kayla?
Oh, Johnny and Reese hit the hammer on the nail, or the nail on the
Mm-hmm.
hammer, whichever way you want to say it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I was sitting thinking that, yeah, you're right. She should apologize for leaving, because if she did wrong, whether he knew she did wrong or not, she knows she did wrong. So yeah, she probably should apologize for leaving. So,
Why was it wrong for her to leave?
well, the fact that she left him, abandoned him, without him knowing, I don't know, because it just,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with her
It
leaving.
was
I
not
agree.
in the plans to take him to go get a haircut. He
Yeah,
didn't.
because
He
see,
kidnapped her.
huh?
He took her
But
He
did
to a
he
took
really
place where she didn't
kidnap
know they were
her
even
if
going.
she told him to drive or whatever and allowed
Yeah,
him to
because
drive?
she
Is that
didn't
really
drive.
kidnapping?
It is kidnapping. You didn't. I thought we were going to get something to eat. I had no idea we were
No,
going to
But
no
no, he
no,
did
she
tell
barbershop
wanted to
her.
go.
He did tell her.
Yeah,
He was like,
after
"No,
they
I'm
got
gonna
because
there.
get
she
my hair cut."
that she
He
wanted to
got
go get
after
something
they
to eat,
got
but
there.
they never agreed to go get something to eat. She just thought they were, but he had said, "Oh, I'm going to get my hair cut." So she knew he was going. So no, she didn't. He didn't kidnap her. Uh,
No, she didn't know about that. Not till they got there.
yeah.
No, because
Well,
remember he talked to the barber on the phone with her in the car, so she knew.
yeah, because see, I agree with her leaving him there, abandoning him and gone because of the way he was acting. I agree with that action 100%.
So why
But
should she apologize for it?
because it just don't seem right to
Because
just
it's
leave
it's kind of
somebody.
mean at
Right.
the same time, to leave somebody abandoned. That's
But
mean.
should he apologize that
Oh yeah, he owe her
so
apology.
far?
Oh,
He
she
owes her a
already
bunch of apologies.
apologies.
So it don't matter what you say, Reese. Whatever you say, you put his
Yes,
name in
he
front
owes
of.
her an
Yes,
apology.
he
I don't even know what it is, but I'm like,
yeah.
yes, he owes her an apology. He
Okay.
did set our car on fire. Yeah, he did. That
Yeah.
time.
Now,
He owes her an apology for that. Yeah.
now, when he got out the barbershop, I wouldn't have let him drove my car. I would have
I
let
No.
wouldn't either. When she scooted over,
yeah,
I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
yeah, that's what
Hmm.
I was saying too. So
She
I was
love
like,
her some him.
Ugh.
because it's
And
all
they
about
trying
the
to kick
sex
him
right
out
now.
and he was driving. That was something else. I'm like, girl.
Yeah, because she knew he wasn't going to get out the car. Now, what would have been funny is if he got out the car and then he left for the night.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, because then she'd have been in the bed at the house crying, talking about where he go. I don't know where he went. He's supposed
And
to be here.
what kind of sweater was that? Was he wearing a Burberry sweater?
Look like his stuff be looking name brand.
He do be looking like
I only know this, because I've had to do some investigative work with people in their PPP loan frauds and watching their Instagrams with their Burberry. So I was
now.
wondering,
It
Now
look
this
like
is the thing.
his sweaters he be wearing look expensive. Like
they
Yeah.
do.
one of
And
them
he
look like
paid
a
for that.
Balenciaga
Now
or
is
whatever.
it real? I don't know. Because he could be going to the flea market getting it, but I don't know.
Wow.
Cause it was one time I
Yeah,
thought
he
I'm like,
paid
is
for
that the
that.
Balenciaga he got on?
Yeah, one time he did have on a sweater that looked like it was Balenciaga,
I was
but
like,
So
dang.
who's paying for that? Is she paying for
probably
that?
her. Probably her.
Stupid.
Right. So
I
Unless he
try
was
not to call
working when
women
he was at
stupid,
the
but good
halfway house.
God.
Now he could
Why
have
do
been
you think this
working.
man is going to respect you if you are spending all that money on him and he treats you like shit and you still spend the money on him?
Yeah,
Why
it's
do you
like
think
a
he's going
Rick
to respect you?
situation where she's trying to buy his love.
That is,
Trying to,
oh, God.
well, didn't he have money when he went in? Because he was
he
doing
probably
illegal.
did, but he could have been working while he was at the halfway house. They don't have bills per se there, so
Well, I
maybe
guess
that's
if it was on a flea market budget,
yeah.
because how else would he be able to afford that? Because I'm sure, no, they ain't paying no $15, $20 an hour.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
Or now I've said this before. I strongly do not believe that Kayla is the only one. So he could have other women, and those other women could be buying it as well. That's another option.
True.
Yeah, I don't think Kayla's the only one, too. She's the only one stupid enough to let him live with her.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
because
sad.
she wants to be that main.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
it's sad.
That's
Hmm.
really sad. So sad.
Because I'm
Yeah.
sure she could have found somebody else. She could have stayed in Georgia, or where? Is that where she was from?
She was
Yeah,
from
no,
Philly.
she's from up north somewhere.
Oh, okay, so she
And
could have
I
stayed
thought
where
they
she
were
was
supposed to be
from.
a harder core woman
Mm.
in the sense of not taking that
But I
foolishness.
feel like because she wasted all of her youth waiting on him, you know what I mean? Now she's like in her 30s. She's like, I gotta like make this work because maybe she don't really feel confident to go back out there or whatever. I
It's
don't know.
scary.
Oh yeah, shoot your ass, scary.
I hate being back out there, but it is what it is. But I can tell you this, I totally would rather be alone than dealing with the foolishness I was dealing with.
Yeah,
So that's foolishness.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they are
yeah.
definitely foolishness.
Staying in something toxic is more foolish than being alone.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
concur. I
yeah,
agree.
they just take it to a whole nother level for me. That's what I just can't
Hmm.
really get down with. But yeah, so they were our last couple this week. Next week is going to be the season finale. I feel like this season went by quick. I feel like they drug out life during
Yeah,
lock.
if next week is the season finale, yeah, that's quick.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they didn't give us 30 minutes of content in an hour. They actually gave us an hour and a half, so an hour of content.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Maybe that's why it went by so quickly. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they did not show us like a preview of life after lockup.
Nope, it's Mama
Oh,
June.
yeah, so I'm wondering, are they not running them back to back anymore, or what's going
Maybe
on with
not. Maybe
I
it's
don't
gonna be
think so.
back
Mama
maybe
June is
after Mama
taking the
June.
spot on Fridays. Yeah.
Think yeah, probably Mama June and then Love Out the Lockup again.
Yeah,
Or
because Mama June is
Love
taking it up.
is it Love during or Love after?
Love
Or
love
Life?
during.
life? It's life after
Life
lockup.
after. Yeah.
So you think they're gonna do that one? Because where's the one where Deontay's supposed to be with Lindsay? Is that gonna be on Life or Love?
That's supposed to be on life.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe they don't have enough couples because these couples totally failed.
Well,
Mm.
Well,
I
there's
think some of
still
them in
There
Love
is no
Marcelino.
life.
Well,
after
they
are
still
still
have
too.
Marcelino and Brittany, and
It
then
might be
who else?
like one of the only ones.
Huh?
Sean and old girl, maybe are they still
Yeah,
together?
probably Sean and old girl, and then I was trying to remember who else was on life after
Lacey
lockup.
and them split up.
Yeah,
Shoot, I
Lacey.
think I think even Deontay, he ain't with Lindsay no more.
No, he's not with
He's
Lindsay
with somebody
anymore.
else. He got
So
another
I
girlfriend.
wonder if they made it
Brittany
all the way through the season, or did they break up during
did
the
Brittany
season?
and Ray break up?
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
I
think they
really
still
don't know.
together.
I haven't
They
heard
still together.
anything at all. Yeah.
I saw like on her Facebook they still together, or her
Oh, okay.
Instagram they still together.
Okay.
So I guess there's only like two couples. That's probably why they
Yeah,
ain't got any more.
yeah, three.
Love after lockup does not maintain.
Unless unless somebody from this episode goes over, because that could happen. Like
Yeah.
Chance and them could go end up going.
Chance. I could
Um,
see Chance and is her name
And
oh
Lacey?
Taylor,
girl, the married ones, they might
Taylor,
go.
Chance and
Yeah.
Taylor, you, Rick
Chance and
and
Taylor.
Radine.
No, not Rick and Radine.
No.
You said the
Radine
married
will go over with her girl.
Oh, I
uh,
didn't. You
the
said the
ones that's
married.
married, the married one,
Who's married?
Chaz and
Chaz and Brian.
Oh, Chaz and
Branwyn,
Brian
could go
Branwyn.
over.
I
yeah.
like that name, Branwyn.
They could go over.
It
I don't
would
know
be
if
interesting
anybody
to
else.
learn her backstory too. Like, why did she fall into, her lifestyle in Washington? Is it tough? Is it tough living in Washington State?
I think so because you know what? There's two people in my church, um, and their testimonies are rough, and they're from Washington.
Wow.
Like it's a lot of like meth and all that going on up there.
Oh.
Yeah, but you also have to think about those like lower population areas. Usually drugs run rampant there. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's like I ain't really heard. Like I hear success stories of people that came out of it,
Hmm.
but it just seemed like they had a lot to come out of it. The people that I know that are from Washington State.
Yeah, I can believe that. I can see that. Definitely.
Yeah.
definitely. So, yeah. But alrighty. Any other thoughts on the episode from last night?
Nah, but if the next one's a season finale, they better make it good.
Yeah.
I know it's probably going to be
Oh
freaking
yeah.
2.5
What happened
hours.
to the old boy, Kevin, and what's calling them? Because she
Oh
walked.
yeah, they haven't shown
Anything
them.
I guess
Yeah.
because she walked away. Remember, she.
Outside of her leaving, I guess that's where they'll pick up next week because they got to close them all out, right?
Yeah.
Mm. I had forgotten about Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think they're together no more either.
Kevin and who?
Kevin
Kevin
and
and Tiffany.
Tiffany.
You remember? And then they had Curtis with the K. You
Yeah,
remember?
like we didn't get to find out
Oh,
about Curtis.
okay.
Yeah, we just heard
Apparently,
she left.
apparently he been on social media talking for help. That stuff ain't what it look like, but he can't
Oh,
talk.
Lord.
But I'd be on there doing that too if I got knocked out like that. I forgot what it was. I saw a meme or something, and they hit like whatever it was, just fell flat. Oh, it was a cat. It was like two cats fighting, and the cat smacked the other cat, and the cat just said boom, and they were like, "No, that was Curtis."
Sorry, those cat fight videos be hilarious to me where the cat, you see that little paw come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one smacked him. And the cat just
Yeah,
said,
I be laughing. It's like, oh my gosh.
or actually,
Yeah,
he
the
fell.
ones, yeah, the ones that be aggravating me is when they be beating on like babies when the cat bring their paw up to the baby. I'm like, why are you recording it? Stop that baby! Stop that cat from slapping your baby.
Oh,
You
I
know.
ain't seen those.
Girl, that ain't facing them babies now. Them babies different. Them pandemic babies can handle about anything.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
don't know. I don't know. But all righty, guys. Well, that was this week's episode. Um, Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button before you leave. Leave us any comments about anything that you saw that maybe you agreed with us about, maybe you disagreed with us about. That's fine. This isn't an echo chamber around here. You can disagree. Sometimes we disagree with each other. But all right. So until next time, friends. Bye.